of had done in the past. All right, so it's recording now.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and I'm gonna make you just switch over to your screen. Uh, can you share your screen up in the top left there where that green monitor is?
Should I open up a different window for the Hangout?
Sometime, yeah, it might be better.
That's what I
If you
figured.
so you were running a lot of stuff in what the high school niche,
Originally, yeah, I was.
and the two that you're running now, what are they also in the high school
No,
niche
no, I
or?
basically stopped doing that. I don't want to get in trouble. I had gotten coaching with you, and then I
Okay.
decided that it wouldn't be smart to risk any issues. All right, can you see my Teespring?
Let me see. Yep, I
Oh,
see it. So,
okay.
well, now it looks like YouTube. Yep.
Yeah, I had a video. We were playing a video last night, and I just hooked up this. I just hooked up this dual monitor system, so
Okay.
trying to get it straight. Okay, so these are just the two that I have going on right now.
Okay. Looks like plumbers, and what's the other one?
It's firefighters.
Okay.
So
Firefighters is tough. I'm actually running a firefighters one. I haven't been able to quite crack it, but
really,
um, are you running ads to these guys yet?
I am. Yeah, they're not performing very well, but I figured I'd just wait and see.
Okay, let's go ahead and
Uh,
look at your ads and see.
all right, hang on.
One thing you might want to try since you had success with the high school stuff. And I was gonna actually, that was one of the things I was gonna start trying to do was I saw a lot of like the 2015 class shirts selling.
Yeah,
I don't know if have you done any of those or tried like the graduating class shirts?
no, I was thinking about making just a general high school page, and
Yeah,
then every class has a motto like second to none or some other nonsense, and people buy that stuff. So yeah, I think that could be valid. Um, I
I
don't
would,
know.
especially since that you've done pretty well in that niche. I think that could be a good, money maker for you. I would try it out.
Hmm. Yeah. See, look. I mean, the cost per engagement currently is the lowest one is at 14 cents.
Right. And what's your daily spend at? Because I see on those looks like you only spent less than okay, total spent, that's spent today. You're doing $5 a day.
Yeah.
Let's look at just, let me see one of them. Let's see kind of how you're targeting them. So you what do you got? Plumbers,
Let's see. This one
one,
is. I think
22
this one's
cents.
just plumbers, possibly. Plumbers, believe it or not, was only like 13,000. Just the people that had that as their profession. So
Yeah, okay.
I almost didn't even make an ad for it.
Right,
Because when you look up plumbers in general, it was like 3.6 million or something like that.
right.
Oh,
Actually, I'm
look.
gonna give you, do you have a pen?
Yeah.
Um, and I'm gonna I sent you I did send you the advanced targeting video, right? Did you have a chance to look at that?
Yeah. So, well, I did two ads. So, I did one of them with the profession,
Mm-hmm.
and I did one of them. Let's see. The other one just had like plumbers and plumber groups
With the
and
interest.
plumber's wife. Yeah, all
Right.
kinds of stuff like that. Okay, so this one was professions only, and let's see if I can. How do you see exactly what you targeted?
If you have to click into the ad. So like
Okay.
you have to drill down. And what I do when I'm gonna do another video on like split testing and tracking. I
Okay.
usually keep them all within one campaign so it's easier to look at. So click on that ad again. So you gotta click on the ad set, and then over to the right it should look targeting and placement. If you scroll down a little bit.
targeting
click
place.
here. Yep, and it's going to show you at the top what you're targeting. So you're doing 2465 mobile only. You got plumbers, master plumbers, plumber, best plumbers. What I would do, and I can actually probably send you some of the interests that I've used before. Have you tried drilling into like audience insights and starting with the main keyword plumber or plumbers and trying to narrow it down to like a second or third level
On the
interest?
plumbers, I didn't have any success drilling it down.
No.
No, because like I'd click plumbers and then it would show me like groups
Right.
with tools and stuff.
Let me
Do
let
you
me
ever
check
have that
mine.
happen?
Yeah, sometimes there's not, it really depends. Some groups are just harder. So what I do normally when I'm doing like a profession like that is I do one ad set for just targeting by job title, and then I usually run an ad set where I'm targeting by the interest. So you have it in two separate campaigns.
Yeah,
Um,
isn't that what you do?
I do it in one campaign, but two ad sets. So like I'll
Oh,
just create a similar ad, and then I'll just change the targeting from interest to job title or from job. That way you don't. That way you can look at one campaign and see your total spend versus
okay,
trying to add it up. If you have like two or three campaigns from one Teespring shirt.
sure.
So like normally I'm usually running at the most two campaigns. So I have my main campaign I start for my shirt, and then I usually have at some point once I know it's a winner, I'll do my retargeting campaign.
Right.
So that way it's just two versus if you're trying to split test and have multiple campaigns from one Teespring campaign, then you got to add it up, and it's a little harder to track that way.
Okay, I gotcha.
Let me yeah, let me. Brother had some success with plumbers. I did a little bit trying to find some of the interests I used.
I mean, I guess they could, plumbers could also be interested in certain tool groups, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you can target like manufacturers of tools, if it's specific, or even like with welders, there's different companies that make different like welding gear.
Yeah.
So stuff like that's good. Do you have a, can I give you the list? This is kind of what I use to try to target as far as a cheat sheet.
Okay.
You have a pen ready?
Yeah.
Associations. I'm just going to go through it. If you just jot it down, you can have this for your own records. So associations, foundations, you have federations, societies, society or societies, clubs. So like with like dogs or anything. If you Google, you can even type it into Facebook interest, but whatever your niche is plus clubs, like you'll find like different dog clubs or like different hobbies that have different clubs that people are a member of. You could target those. Forums.
So
So then
stuff
they,
that you wouldn't maybe find just by looking up in the interests.
yeah. So yeah, usually I'll go on Google and type in like maybe Boston Terrier Forum or Club and see if there's any websites you can target.
Yeah.
So you have forums, you have websites, blogs, magazines. Magazines are really good if there's any magazines related to your niche. Newsletters, any books or authors that would be specific to your niche.
Okay.
Any popular events, festivals. We're almost done. Conferences. Unions is big with trades. So like if there's some type of, I'm pretty sure there's a plumbers union. So if there's a plumbers union that you could target, You might want to add that to your ad.
Okay.
Journals, contests, competitions, rescues. So that's real big with dog rescues. Communities or community. And then you can also try like TV shows or radio stations that are related to like whatever your niche is.
So you would, for certain shirts and certain niches, you would look for different one of these. Like, not every dogs might not have a union, so you wouldn't even go there, or a federation,
Right. Yeah, but I would look at magazines and
clubs. Yeah.
clubs, rescues. I might look for a blog, maybe a newsletter. And I'll just go to Google and I'll just see like what the what comes back on like the first page or so. And then start typing it into my interest in Facebook Ads Manager and see if they come up. And some of them will.
Okay.
Let me see here. I'm
And
gonna
can't you
send you.
see how it's performing within the ad? Like, if plumbers is performing better than the plumber.
No. The only way to do that is at some point if you want to start split testing out one interest. I wish there was a way, like that would be really helpful if Facebook could tell you which interest is doing better. The only way to do that is to create one ad for every interest.
Yeah, I was listening to a guy. This guy had a little like sales webinar, and my buddy wanted me to be on it. And this guy spent like $150,000 a day on ad spend,
Wow.
and he was saying like you should only target one interest at a time, or Facebook will think you're not knowing what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, right. I'm not going to create 30 ads on one for one campaign, but
No,
I guess
I've seen a
you
lot
could,
of people make that mistake and then they start spending. They blow through so much money testing because if you got 20 interests and it's $5 or whatever per, it'll add up fast. So
right,
most of the people I know, and myself included, we start with one
chunk,
big PPE ad. We gather all our interest in there, and then once we know it sells, because I still usually run my one big ad, and my ROI, as long as my ROI is over 100%, I just keep it going, and
right,
then I'll start looking at the reports and seeing like which age groups or demographics are performing the best, and
right,
I'll start breaking those out, but I'll still keep my main ad going. And then you can and then at that point is when you could start testing to see which interest is, create multiple ad sets for each interest.
right.
I
It
just,
almost seems like it doesn't matter at that point.
right. I mean, the first test is really do the people like it and are they going to buy it? And then based on that is when you want to try to narrow in on who's really, engaging the most and buying the most.
Right,
Because running 20 some campaigns and you're testing multiple interests in each campaign, I mean, that's a lot of money to be thrown away testing.
right.
So I sent you a list of targeting I used in the past for plumbers. I mean, you can just use it or you can use it to plug into like audience insights and see if you can find some other interest or more targeted ones. But
Oh wow,
that
okay.
should help you.
Nice.
So how much have you spent on there? Because you might want to
Um,
pause those ads and maybe start a couple new ones.
I think that probably a good idea. Let's see.
Especially if your cost per engagement's what? How much?
Nothing was below 14 cents.
Yeah, it's kind of high.
I know sometimes it takes a little while for them to level off, but
Yeah, I mean, they should be. Facebook's also been weird lately. They're adding that quality score to their ads. So they're gonna be kind of like Google AdWords, where they gave you I guess it was also a quality score, how relevant your ad was to your target. audience.
Okay.
Facebook's doing something similar where they're going to tell you like what your ad relevant score is. So people have been complaining a lot about their ads acting up the last few days.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but like 22 cents, 14 cents, those are pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, if you go down this way, I'm like 3 to 8 cents usually
Right.
on average.
So like in that case, and if I wasn't getting, are you getting any kind of good engagement on that? If not, I usually
Either.
would just kill it.
No, I feel like I should almost kill all of these. There's two firefighters, two plumbers, one comment in them all combined on $30 of ad spend.
Yeah, I would stop them. Let me send you. I'll send you the targeting on my firefighter one because it's
Okay.
getting good engagement. I mean, I have had a few sales, but they're just. My dad was a firefighter, so I thought I'd be able to to
Get
sell
inside
some
there.
shirts in there. Yeah, but they seem picky. I don't know if they just been targeted a lot. Like,
It's got to be it. I think there's a lot of money in just the ones that haven't been targeted yet, or just random ones that never really get stuff made for them.
yeah, I like to do what I was telling you with the shirts is find like one shirt that I can uh really go wide with.
Yeah.
And that's why I did. I mean, in December I had my best month, which was like all different job professions, and it was pretty much the same shirt, but uh I mean, every shirt I go into now it's something that I can sell very wide and do, 10 or 20 different designs for different, whether it's dog breeds or job professions or hobbies. I
Yeah.
may do like I have a shirt now that's doing like same design, but I'm just changing it slightly for like every kind of hobby I can think of: scuba diving, skiing,
Yeah. Okay.
snowboarding, skydiving, biking. You know what I mean? Like,
So you try to make it to where you don't have to be creative very often.
yeah,
All you
exactly.
gotta do is
And
just think of
that's
new things.
right. And you save on design costs because if you pay a designer, let's say 20 or 30 bucks to make you a shirt, and then you say, but I want it changed. All I want it changed is, one little. I want it instead of bike riding, I want it to say backpacking. That's a quick change for them. They should only charge you like another maybe $5 or so to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a tip. Uh, Unless you're familiar with, are you good with Photoshop at all?
No.
Yeah. See, I used to
Plan
spend a
B.
lot of time. I'd get the PSD file and I would just change it myself. But honestly, that's time consuming and a pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Um, and
So,
you know my two designers that I have now, one of them is like a low quality. I
uh,
just I'm very specific what I want, and the other one's very creative, and he's good. He only charged me $7 to $10. So
oh wow.
yeah, so I got a couple good guys.
So yeah, I would
Um,
like work out a deal. And if you find a shirt like that you're running for your job professions, and say, listen, I need 10 or 15 shirts, but they're all gonna be the same. I'm just gonna change them slightly. Can you give me a better price on the variations?
right.
They should be able to do that because they should be able to knock them out really fast.
hmm Check this out. These are the ones that I was running, selling over and over and over again. So I was just doing, you know, whatever for life, school
Hmm.
for life. And I was trying to take your advice and try to scale it amongst like different niches, but I could never really think of anything.
Outside of high school.
Yeah, because people
Right.
are pretty passionate about their high school. I mean,
Have you tried colleges?
well, I tried one, but I got nervous about like how, because even like three different high schools hit me up and said, "Hey, we know you're not the school. You need to take this down now. We're going to contact eBay." And so, I'd block them and then I'd take the
Right.
page down or I'd unpublish it and take it down immediately.
Yeah.
I had
So
one campaign, trust me. $15 a shirt, and I had sold 26 within the first 3 days. It was,
Wow.
set to be one of my biggest campaigns, and they messaged me like someone important. So I shut it down, closed the campaign down. I only spent $20 on ads, and I was at like 420 in profit.
That's crazy. I probably would have kept it running until I got got in trouble. Um, you could get.
Yeah, but I don't
How are
want
you
Facebook
targeting them?
account. How was I?
Yeah, were you doing it by
Just by high school, by their high school.
okay. So are they, do you know if it was graduates of the high school or current like high school
I would.
students? I mean, what was your age demographics?
I was doing 18 to life.
Okay. It could be
Yeah.
alumni.
The reason, and so I know probably 18-year-olds weren't necessarily buying it, but a lot of them were fired up, so they were sharing it. So I
Right.
was getting like a lot more traffic with the younger crowd, pretty good click through and whatnot. Um, so I just kept those people on and just did it with everybody. Um, and I wanted people that weren't currently going to the school to be like, hey, I want this shirt. Like, where is it in the office? Like, can I just pick it up?
Right.
So anyway, I did really well with this, just this over and over and over again. As you can see, it's all
Yeah, I
up.
mean that's the same idea. I mean that's the right idea.
But yeah, I launched like 75 shirts that way. See, like
You
29.
could. So
Huh?
like the thing with the trademarks, which where you would get in trouble is probably using like, and it might not be as high schools probably don't protect their stuff as much when you're using the actual like team mascot like that, like Viking, boxer, Indian. With college, I know they probably would be a lot more strict with that. But there's other ways around that. I mean, you could do like the colors, like green and gold for life, or if you
Mm,
do a little more research, you can make it look. You probably couldn't use the actual picture of the mascot, but you can make it look like the team colors.
okay.
And you could just use like you can use the colors, kind of like people are doing it with football.
Let me
You
see. I'm
know,
trying to find this one that I went. So I went to LSU, and I did the logo, but I kind of remade it. Um,
this is a college one, or
it was a college one. Yeah, it's the only college one I did. Hang on. There you go. Bam. And that's not really like that's not technically their logo, but that's, people would know. And I didn't do LSU because then
right?
they would really know.
I think you could. I would try it. I mean, the worst thing that happens is I don't know. Did you sell some?
No, I didn't. I tried
Okay.
it for a few days, and I think I just didn't get that much of a response. But my targeting probably wasn't good either, you know.
Yeah.
And then this one, I heard people were getting in trouble, like Team Flex, Flex to Your Famous. They sell like massive amounts of shirts.
Who's
They do like,
Team Flex?
yeah, Flex to Your Famous. If you look up the Facebook page, they're like
Oh,
people are all, it's bunch of like workout junkies that are super fired up about their working out. Um, let's see. What about this one? This one I felt like could have been a winner at some time in life. 'Cause this was all I want to do is hang out and drink beer with my dog.
I think that might be my friend's shirt. Well, not that. He did. Yeah. All I want to do is drink beer and hang with my dog. That was.
That was one of your friends.
Yeah. So I'm in a small mastermind, and I have a couple friends are like, they saw crazy numbers. And he's huge in the beer niche, but the beer niche is it's really tough. So he's already been in it for so long, and he's got like he has a fan page I think of 100,000 people.
Right.
It's really easy for him to post a shirt and see if he does most of the times he doesn't have to run ads to see if it's going to sell or not. He just posts it on his page, and he can see what kind of engagement it gets.
Wow.
And he was going to try to go into specific dog breeds, and I thought that could work. The problem is just beer in general is kind of hard. If you were gonna, did you use Audience Intersect with this?
Actually, I did. It was the only one that I ever used Audience Intersect with. But I think that I narrowed it down too much. Like I might only had like 30,000 people that I was targeting.
which isn't it's not a bad thing. You just have to go really wide and do every single dog breed. Um, it might be worth trying some other ones, some other dog breeds.
Well, yeah, Pitbull is such a marketed
Yeah,
to.
I mean the pit bull's been marketed too, and beer in general's been marketed a lot, so it's competitive.
Hmm.
But I can see that design selling, possibly to some other breeds, like maybe bulldogs or like German shepherds. Rottweilers is another good one. Uh, Maybe boxers, uh, Dobermans.
Hmm.
But what I would do, I would just probably find all the dog-specific breeds that I could and build that up real high, and then just throw in maybe a general interest of like beer
Okay.
and see. The problem with the beer is there's so many. It's good and a bad thing. It's such a large market. There's so many interests to target. It's almost hard to figure out where to start. Because you have every different type of like brewing company, every type of beer. Like there's so many different interests to target with beer. It's like how do you find the really passionate people?
Okay.
Um, but that's definitely. I mean, you're on the right path. That's definitely like a scalable one that you could go wide with. I don't do a lot of audience intersecting.
I'm not gonna do it anymore. I heard things from the get-go that it was maybe not safe. So
Yeah, I had mixed things too. I mean, I hear people saying it's fine, and I hear other people saying it's not. So I haven't really needed it. I mean, I've used it a few times, and it's helped. But I would definitely, you're on the right track as far as finding these scalable shirt designs. It's just, getting a whole bunch of them launched. And
how
and
do
and
I? Yeah, like on a time budget. How do I get a lot launched? Because
you're stuck with time as far as getting them put up, you mean?
yeah. Because I mean, I have a good problem on my hands. I have eBay business that's blowing up.
Yeah.
But I think this time wise is it's no question as far as
So
this is way far more profitable than eBay could ever try to be.
my what I did I mean when I was starting out was just time blocking. I'd get all my designs made and I would just batch them. So I would set aside, maybe a day. So like I would do maybe twice a week where I would set up all my campaigns. So I would get my Teespring campaign set up. I would get them, launched on my fan pages and the ads set up. And I would do that maybe twice a day. And then the rest of the week I would just be looking at the ads. Um,
So
Once they're up and running, it's
so
more
maybe
about monitoring them versus, you're not as busy. So you might take 2 days a week, whatever works for you, set aside. If you could do five one day and five another day and get 10 per week, or if you want to be more
okay.
aggressive and do 20 per week, whatever you have time to do, but just set aside, know like Monday is shirt launching day and maybe Thursday is your other day where you launch your shirts.
I like that. I like that. Well, for a week I was launching like five a day, but then I was uh, neglecting the other business. So
Yeah, it's hard.
it'll just be a balance that I'll have to do. But I think that's a good idea. Just batching it, like you said, doing five on one day, five on the next day, or five, two times a week,
Yeah, whether it's five
rather
or
than
10. I just found that if I focus on one thing, like I used to try to do, like, all right, today I'll do a couple YouTube videos, I'll post some things on eBay, I'll launch two Teespring campaigns, and it's just like
too
switching
much.
from one thing to the next, you kind of lose momentum and then
Yeah,
your focus. So like I started just saying, all right, today I'm just gonna do nothing but I'll just do nothing but YouTube videos, and then I can knock out a bunch of YouTube videos that day, and then the next day I would just get in that batching mode because it's the same thing over and over again. You get into a rhythm. It's like I'm just gonna do nothing but Teespring shirts today. whatever, whether it's, 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever you can do, and just knock out as many as you can. And then when the time's up, all right, but twice a week or 3 times a week, whatever it is, it's, you're launching campaigns.
Yeah. Yeah, these two I was a little bit, the two that I just launched, I was a little shy on because I knew we were going to be talking. So I was like, okay, let me get a few examples up there. Let's see how they do.
Yeah.
And, we'll see from there.
Can I see your shirt, those shirts again? I've seen those sell. I think I ran one similar. Uh, is it on the eighth day?
Oh, yeah, I got to get to the active ones.
So there's a few different variations of that. There's the
Oh, yeah, there's a ton of different
yeah.
My guy made them all saying the same thing. So I was just like, okay, screw it up.
I like that design. I mean, I would actually. Have you tried it for any military or police?
No, no.
Because that seems like it would probably do. I've had a lot of Navy's been good for me. Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard.
You know what I saw also selling like crazy was somebody saying on the eighth day, God created the Australian Army or
Hmm.
the X country army. Seems like that you could just go crazy with.
You
And they were
could, yeah. I
selling,
didn't even think about that.
dude, they were selling a ton of them, and it was Teespring, and they're not cheap to ship out that way.
The other option I'm running is I have one now, and on the eighth day, God created the Navy because even the Army needs heroes. So you could target. I've seen people doing the same thing with job professions. So like eighth day guy created welders because engineers need heroes. They kind of like make it competitive between the different job professions.
Wow, I wonder if engineers are that way
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
because they're very like I feel like they're pretty prideful as far as
they are, and I've seen a ton of engineer shirts sold. So I think if you there's probably some way to work that. I haven't tried many engineering shirts, but I'm guessing they probably are like you have the white collar people in the office doing all the design work, and then like the welders or the fabricators out there,
right.
the blue collar people. So I can see it being kind of a competitive in nature.
hmm Hmm. So I'm gonna add maybe foreign armies too.
I'm wondering if that could work somehow for college teams like rivals.
Ooh.
I'm just trying to think of how the wording would change,
Um,
or maybe even high schools. Since that seems to be.
you know what? I would when I was doing high schools, I would have other high schools comment like, your team's a bitch, and like,
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. If you can find out like what the rival high schools would be,
yeah.
you know.
You know what the issue is? It's just like I couldn't spend any more than maybe $50 I'd spend on each one.
Okay.
So it's like extreme hustle mode. I mean, imagine I had like 25 campaigns going at one time, and I had to manage the comments and oh, I want one. Where do I get one? It's
Yeah.
impossible to click on the link above, but
I don't know
um,
how people miss that. I used to be really good on top of the comments and stuff. Now, honestly, I don't. I have a VA who does it for me, but it's still impossible to get to them all.
yeah,
Uh, so
yeah,
I mean, I think I'd be more. What's that?
you gotta have a VA.
Yeah, it's just such a time-consuming and not a mind-numbing task. It's just like I think it probably helps in the beginning, but after there's a point where the campaign takes off so much where it's just like you have 500 comments or something. It's impossible to get to them all.
You have to have like full-time commenters. It'd be nuts.
Yeah, I mean, people do. Uh, the good thing about this business is it is fairly easy to start outsourcing the tasks. So like now I have my designer. and I have my VA launching the campaigns for me, so I don't even see them until they're up on the fan page, and I'm ready to run ads to them.
Okay.
So like
Yeah.
once you get enough campaigns going and you start getting a system in place and getting that momentum, you can start hiring, even a part-time outsourcer for a couple $100 a month uh,
Oh yeah.
to do a
I've
lot
got
of that stuff.
I got a chick in the Philippines now. I'm about to hire her on full time instead of part time.
Yeah, I mean, were they like $2, $3 an hour?
Yeah, yeah. I'm paying her $2 an hour, and she makes $1.25 now. So she's like, she loves me.
Wow.
Basically, putting her up in a penthouse, Philippines.
Yeah, I know it's crazy.
But yeah, I think her salary is gonna be $300 a month, and she's amazing. I could probably put her on a task of responding to the comments, and she would have no problem speaking at least well enough English.
Yeah, the one I have, her English is she can copy and paste. Her English is a little bit iffy, which kind of I have to like. Just some of the comments she would make on my fan pages was like, and she's a young girl, so she talks like a, you could tell like I read her comments and it sounds like this, like someone who's into Hello Kitty, like, oh, this is so cute. I'm like, doesn't really go with my, you know, manly barbecue page of men and beer and so. But she, as far as following directions and launching campaigns, like she's very good at that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, they're very like feedback seeking, I find, which is good.
yeah, yeah, they're good at that. And she's a little. I think they're afraid to make mistakes, and sometimes.
Yeah,
So like
absolutely.
they
They're
kind
afraid.
of
They're almost
mess
like
with
afraid to
me.
think.
Exactly. I just want to be like push button pushers, but I want them to think and um
Yeah, that'll cost you $3 an hour.
yeah, exactly. Um
Can't get that for $2 an hour, man. You might as
yeah,
well.
definitely. So are
Um,
you what do you want to do with the firefighter shirts? Do you want to try the interest I sent you?
okay, so you
I
sent me
sent you
the.
interest for plumbers and firefighters that you could possibly do. Maybe just test it on maybe just another $5 each. Don't go crazy with it and see if it helps.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
I'll do that with both of those, and then I
what
will. What now?
I was just gonna say, so like what I do, like I always create a similar ad, and do you want me to show you real fast how to do that? Like,
Yeah.
so if you go back into your ads manager, this will be the same process. Like if you want to split test, like I see you had two campaigns for job titles and then one for the interest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, actually, let's go into an existing campaign if you want to.
Change it or whatever.
Yeah, either one doesn't matter if you want to keep one
Um,
running.
Let's
So
see.
if you click on the ad set down at the bottom.
Yeah.
So you have ad sets, right? Ad sets where you split test your different demographics and interests,
Okay.
and then underneath is where is the actual ad, which would be like the picture and the text, which with Teespring stuff we don't really mess around with. So create similar ad right there
Um.
under creative.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Right. So like anytime you place an ad, it asks you to continue or create similar. This is like the same thing.
Oh,
So what you
nice.
need to
There
do,
we
so you're
go.
creating another ad in the same campaign, but you see over on the right it says change ad set.
Yeah.
We need to click on that, create new ad set, and then hit save. So now we have a new ad set where we can change the targeting, we can change the country. So I would maybe X out all those plumbing interests you have and copy in the ones that I sent you. And honestly, I've been running all my ads now. Like I started out doing just mobile, but I'm doing all mine to desktop, mobile, and
Oh, really?
sidebar.
Both?
Yeah, I'm still getting really good engagement, and then at that later on, I'll test and see. I'll look at the reports and see if I want to start breaking them out. But uh,
That's crazy. So you're Wait, so you're getting results just doing it to all three?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So I would try those plumbing
So you
interests.
can just copy and paste this in here and that'll work.
Yeah, inside the quotes. Yeah, just copy and paste it. You could do the same thing. You could copy those and go into audience insights and paste them in and see what other interests come up. We used to have like 680,000 people.
That's about right.
Yeah. And then, so you have your ad set name. I would just name it like US 24, and then I would just do maybe new interest or something, just so you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna do a video on like different, like how I break out my ad sets, and then
You're
also
running
on like
all
the
three.
URL tagging.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Doing the URL tag so you know.
Cause that way, like I can see. So I'm gonna do that video this week, and then I should be almost done for all the like advanced stuff.
It seems to be a small community of like people, not small community people doing well, but all the people that I've met that are doing well, they seem to know each other.
Yeah, I have a small mastermind group. There's about, I think there's 6 of us,
Okay.
and it's small. I mean, and it's just crazy the numbers people do. You know, I need to get more. For me, it's just more launching more campaigns but I mean, I have friends who'll do 50,000, $100,000 a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no reason why you
No.
couldn't.
I mean, my best, I've done over 25,000. Over 10's very easy.
You need to work on the system, bro. I mean, the system seems like that's where the real money is, like being able, like you said, to launch more.
Yeah, that getting the people. I've been working on putting all the content for this course together. I've been doing
Yeah,
a few more coaching stuff as well as I'm having a Facebook tool developed, so I've kind of been distracted on some other stuff that's in the works.
gotcha.
Um, but yeah, so once you place that ad, you can do that over and over again. So you can create similar ads to split test all different stuff. That's where if you wanted to split test different interests, then you would just keep creating a similar ad and just put one interest in per ad set.
Okay,
And you just have to make sure make it a new ad set, because otherwise, um, you're gonna be keep changing the one ad set, and your interests and stuff are all gonna get messed up. But I would definitely, I mean, you're on the right track. I would just try to get a bunch of shirts made and see if you can get like 10 up.
hmm.
And you said you're having trouble finding like niches and stuff?
Uh, it's helpful going through with you. We picked like five different ones that I could
Yeah.
use,
Do
and then
you use Pinterest? That's my favorite, honestly. It's like Pinterest.
that's yeah. I mean, I'll watch your training, and then you said Pinterest is my favorite, and then using that Pinterest. What
That
I don't
pulls
remember
it
what it
into
was.
the Teespring thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You did
Yeah.
like Teespring and then forward slash something.
Yeah, it's like /source/teespring.com. You can change
Yeah.
that out too. Like you can change teespring.com to viralstyle.com or
Okay.
or any other site really, but any t-shirt site. And it's going to show you like the pinned t-shirts. And what I like to do is I'll just look at them and I'll find designs that I like that I think can sell a lot. And I'm usually looking for two things. I'm looking for niches that are buying because I want to know. I used to make the mistake of trying to find like, oh, well, I'll see a shirt and it sold a lot, and I'll just write off that niche because I'm like, oh, somebody's already selling to it. And then I would try to like come up like with find my own new niches, find my own shirt designs, and it just was like, it really wasn't
Frustrating.
working. It was frustrating. So then I'm like, let me just go into these niches that are people are already selling to them. I know they're buying. Let me just find a shirt I can sell to them. So now I'm looking at if a shirt sold a lot, I'm making a note of the niche, and I'm also making a note of the design because if you go on Pinterest, you'll probably see a trend. Like there was a trend before where it was like never underestimate the power of, you know, XYZ, the power of a woman who knows how to ride a horse or something. And you would see that same design over and over again to different niches. So I would know, all right, well, that shirt design's selling, and let me just find some niches that are already buying niches and just sell it to them. So that's what I would do.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I'm always looking, so I'm always gathering ideas for niches that are buying and then also popular shirts that are selling. And then I just kind of figure out where, all right, well, this shirt's selling to this niche. Let me take it, and I already know all these other niches are buying. Let me redesign it and make it make sense for those and test it. And I might do 5, 10, however many I can, and I'll test a bunch of them. And usually, you know, you're going to have a few winners that are in there.
Right.
But I'm never trying to, like, I rarely try to, like, reinvent the wheel as far as coming up with, like, a secret untapped niche that nobody knows about because I feel like that takes a lot of money and time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One one idea. I was walking by a shirt store the other day, and I don't know if you've seen this on out there, but it said, um, not like it started with like, not only am I perfect, and then it said I'm also a redhead or something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was good, and I've had success so far with like, if it's catchy to me, then like, that like, at least on some level it's going to be catchy to other people.
Right.
And there's probably some validity in that, but what you're saying is just don't worry about trying to be creative and fancy. Worry about, do that when you're rich.
Right. But that I think I might have seen a shirt like that.
Yeah.
Um, Something similar. Like I can't help that I'm this sexy. I'm a redhead, or I can't help that I'm this
Oh
sexy.
yeah.
I'm a nurse, or similar to that. But I'll tell you, that redhead niche. I actually have a page. They're really passionate people. If you
Yeah.
wanted to test that, yeah, it's like they're a little picky. I mean, I get crazy engagement from them. I've sold some shirts to them, those redheaded people. But there's some random ones that you would never, I would have never thought like redheads would be a niche, or people who like beards, or left-handed people. Like these are niches like I never thought about before until recently.
Ah, left-handed people.
I'm
Nice.
left-handed too. I'm like, why didn't I think about that?
Yeah, interesting. No, you
Um,
know what I think? I think with that's why I posted, go back through the training to the people who are struggling, is because I like the Pinterest thing didn't hit me until you said, dude, you need to go back and find, 5 different evergreen designs. I'm like, I was stuck for a couple of days.
right.
So I went back and just watched the basic training, and then that Pinterest page just opened up,
Right, right,
right with
right. And I don't
ideas.
think I did a. I might go back and update those videos and do some new ones,
Yeah,
just to update the content. 'Cause that's definitely my probably my favorite sources, like Pinterest. I'll use Instagram too. You know, like people doing like hashtags for shirts and stuff.
hmm,
But Pinterest is by far probably. It's just easy for me to look at it and pick out designs I like and then see which ones are selling, or you could tell by like the repins and stuff.
yeah. Okay, so check it out. So the plan for the next week, I need some sort of a concrete
Game plan.
plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would go ahead. I would test these. Let these
So
shirts that
test.
you got and see.
Yeah.
Let them run for $5 and see if it helps or changes at all. Um, are they both the same design with the and the God
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
it?
I have
Yeah.
only a day for like 8 different ones, I think.
I would go ahead and test the rest of them. If you have other ones already made up, just maybe $5 each and see. Uh, and what I would do is
Wait. Just $5?
I mean, know $5 per day. I mean, like
Oh,
set
okay.
each one at $5 per day. Also I'm running longer campaigns now, so I'm doing.
10 to
Usually I'm doing,
14.
yeah, 10 to 14 that way. The first couple days I just let it run on like a low ad spend. If I get sales right away, I start bumping them up. But usually I'm letting it go to about 20 bucks and seeing what kind of engagement I'm getting.
Okay.
I split tests, so if you're doing job professions, I like to do one ad set for job title. If there's enough in there. Sometimes there's not, under the demographics.
Yeah.
And then one ad set for just the interest, like I showed you. And just have them under, so you'll have one campaign with two ad sets. You'll have one for
Okay.
job title, one for interest.
Okay.
Um, and then I would test, if you have shirts already made, I would get them launched and test them.
Okay.
And so that would actually be $10 per day if you're split testing, but um, still, you should get some feedback within the first day or two as
Hmm.
far as whether or not to keep them going. Um, I would like to try to figure out a way. I'm trying to think. Either you can go into like the college niches with your shirt design. That just seems to make sense to me.
Hey,
If it
I
sells in
know. I
high
know.
school, it should sell in college. I would think college people are more passionate.
Well, so it could be a few things. You know what? Let's go back to campaigns real quick before we gotta go. So maybe should I get designs for a new niche as a plan as well?
Yeah, I would probably find another shirt design. If you want to look at a few, and I'll look at a few with you, send them over to me, and we'll pick one. We'll pick another shirt
We
design.
had already picked like 5 different niches, so I can run with one of those.
Did you have shirt designs for all those too? I forget.
I don't have the designs made, but I have a sample design.
Yeah, let's look.
Uh, Hold on. Okay, so
I'll look through our messages. Let me see.
I targeted 24 to I think older people, and where do I see who I targeted again?
Let me see. You have to go down to the ad level. Click here, so you see. Uh,
Who are my targets? I just targeted the school. That was it.
yeah, I see that.
And I
That's
got
really. I would okay, so school, LSU, and people who like football. So the total size on that was only 21,000.
Huh? Yeah, yeah, it was.
Is that a football? Is that the LSU Tiger a football mascot, or like does each team have its own mascot?
Yeah, I mean that's
Like as
not.
far as like the LSU, if they have a baseball team, is it also Tigers or?
Yeah.
And the colors are all the same, so maybe you should just maybe try just targeting LSU.
Okay. And that's what I done. But you think just LSU? Oh yeah. Okay. The reason I did football was because I was like, okay, football people are like fired up, they're passionate, but
Right,
they may also be the most marketed too. So
right. So if you're targeting, if you're trying to find anyone who's passionate about just attending LSU, I might just try it without the interest.
well, what about the? I mean, do you think the logo could get me in trouble? It's not their logo, but
It may. That's why I was trying to think if we could find another.
purple and gold. A
Yeah, if you
lot.
can redesign it and make it something where it's the colors like is it gold? Yeah, purple and gold for life.
Okay.
Because then you could do that. I mean, you could probably do that for every school. Um,
Wow, that could be.
black and gold for life. You might need to test a bunch to see. I mean, obviously, I think it's like any niche where like you know one shirt really hits with one college, but it might not with another. That's
Oh,
why I'm all.
that's
That's
for
why
sure.
Yeah, because I mean I've seen it with the job profession ones where I'll like I had two big ones like sold like one sold like 600 and one sold over 1,000, and then other ones were like 100, in the hundreds, and then there's some that just didn't sell like at all, and it's just it's the same shirt, it's just different job profession, so it's most likely would be the same with the colleges. Some people are gonna love it, and then some people it's not gonna hit. But that's why I like to take one design and test it like with 10 or 20, you know, as many as I can.
Right.
So I mean, I would look on Pinterest and like see if there's a cool design that you can maybe incorporate. I like that. I mean, I like this shirt. And
What
this is the
about
same
the?
one you were using for high schools?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
over
I
and
would
over and
try to
over
see
again.
if there's a way to make it like, instead of that lion, maybe it says purple and gold right there
Yeah,
for
I'm gonna start looking at some designs like you said on Pinterest for
yeah, and then and
or
then
just Google.
and then like I think the thing with so everything would be branded. Like you have exactly right. You have the LSU Tiger Talk, right? So
Is
people
that
should be
okay?
able to recognize and say, all right, this is for LSU people. You're not gonna the shirt though. The Teespring stuff's not gonna mention like LSU just for trademark stuff, but they'll know by looking at the colors that hey, this is cool. So you can mention that like in your Facebook ad. New Tiger tee, new LSU tee.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
So that's not a problem. Just
no,
writing.
it's just on the Teespring side is where you get in trouble as far as like any copyright stuff.
Yeah, I've had a few taken down.
Right. Yeah, I've had some too.
You know, like sometimes they're like literally I tagged a school that was the Patriots on Super Bowl day,
Uh-huh.
but it's had nothing to do with the Patriots. And it was down within like 30 seconds.
They have gotten really crazy with some of their stuff too. I mean, there's for some reason they're shutting down football shirts that don't have any mention of the sports team. I
Really?
mean, just for using the colors and stuff, which I don't know how they can do that, but um,
Let's see. Yeah, I did. Watch. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know how they do that either. But I guess if it looks like it could get in trouble, then they're
I think they're
uh,
just protecting their butts.
yeah. Watch. Bam. I had sold one of these suckers and they took it down. Huh?
What?
Oh, I think I might. I took the hoodie down just because
Did you take
the
the hoodie
picture
off?
off. Yeah, I was nervous that like it could come back to me or something.
Another good thing to think of. I mean, these are one-time shirts, but like events are popular, like St. Patty's Day,
Yeah, somebody was
Halloween.
crushing on St. Patty's Day.
I haven't done any. My friends did Pi Day. Have you heard of Pi? I'm like, what the heck's Pi Day? I didn't even know that was a
Dude.
day.
Yeah, that was like the biggest seller of all time, huh?
What's that?
The Pi Day. Who are they marketing to?
People who like math and stuff. My friend, he's in my group. He sold 2,000 Pi shirts.
Oh my God.
And he's
Unbelievable.
he's definitely a numbers guy. Like he spends so much time looking at data and analyzing, and it just my mind doesn't work that way. But he's having a blast with it. So I'm trying to think of like what other holidays are coming up.
Easter.
Yeah, those are I've always had trouble with. I haven't done many, but religious stuff because it's kind of such a broad. How do you find the really super passionate like religious people?
I've heard that people had trouble with that too.
I haven't seen many that sold.
Why is that? Huh. Oh well, I guess you don't have to figure out why. You just need to know if it does or not.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen one shirt that did really well, but I would have actually. So I'll give you a little sneak peek into this tool I'm making. I was gonna say I didn't have no idea how they were targeting those people. So I'm developing a Facebook tool. It's gonna be a Google plugin that's gonna like if you see a real popular page post with a lot of comments and shares, like
Hmm.
engagement on it, and you're just wondering like how were they targeting those people? I'm developing a
Oh
tool that's
yeah, yeah. I heard you talk about that on the advanced stuff. You're making that?
yes, I have it. It's being developed now. Where did I talk about that?
You
Um,
said I want to make a tool for this, but I'm not
oh
sure
yeah,
yet.
yeah. So I am making a tool that's going to go through and be able to compile, find the common like pages amongst people who commented and shared on there. So that I'm
Right, so
hoping it's
doing
ready
that
in a
from
week or two.
history, like
I'm hoping it's I'm hoping it's done uh, in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. So we'll
you
need
can
some
make that
beta
fast.
testers. So I think anyone who's put one of my coaching students, I'm gonna give it to them to test
Yeah, it'll be
because
a
there's also some pages that you want to, there's some big fan pages that you want to target, but they don't show up as interests in Facebook, and you can't scrape IDs anymore. So this would almost be a solution to scraping IDs.
hmm.
Just finding, all right, well, all these people like this page or are engaging with it. There's got to be common uh, interest amongst those people.
Will
And then
Facebook be able to tell what you're doing and get mad about it?
I hope not. They shouldn't be able to. There's really nothing. I don't see why. It's just a manual process. I know that works. I'm just automating it. I don't see.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You can just go in there one at a time and do it, but that would be terrible.
It would be horrible. I've tried it. I'm like, I did it once for like a Packers shirt, and I found some good interest, but I'm like, this would just take. So this tool will just go through and look at however many people and bring back a list.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
um, yeah, I'm excited for that. And so, are you cool? Like, I hope that you have some ideas to go after this week. And by all means, make sure you message me and ask me questions and stuff.
No, I mean I'm good. Like you said, I just need to get more shirts out there. Um,
I think that's the biggest thing for a lot of people is just the momentum. Uh, it's
yeah, man.
really
It's
hard to get that momentum. Once you get the momentum going and you're in that launch mode, that's when you can really scale up. So, like,
and
just
I
give
was
me
in
like
that mode.
what's your income goal again?
Um,
You said like 500 bucks a day.
yeah, I mean that's my immediate goal.
What do you have to work with as far as an ad budget right now?
Uh, well,
Like
as
that you
long as
could
I'm making
spend.
money, I don't really have a limit. Like I have an Amex link to it and it doesn't have a limit.
That's good. So you could. So my goal, like, maybe I can send you. Uh, I have a spreadsheet that I use to track. Like, I put the one spreadsheet in the basic group, which I would just track the campaigns. But you want to get to a point where you're tracking your daily ad spend and your total profits
Okay.
amongst multiple campaigns. So I have like a separate tab on my spreadsheet where I update it at the end each day so I can see what my ad spend was, how many shirts I sold, and then look at my ROI for the day.
Okay.
Again, I'm trying to keep it above 100%. It fluctuates just because that's how it goes. But um, you really want to get to a point, whatever your daily income goal is, like figure out if it's 100 bucks a day, all right, figure out have enough shirts going that you can spend $100 a day in ads.
You know, and
Because
it seems like one good shirt makes up enough for 50 bad
it definitely does, and that's why when I look at my total ad spend for the day, I can see, all right, well, some of that money was spent on duds, and then I look at my total profit for the day, and usually, I mean, there's rarely a day where I'd have to look at it where it's been like I lost money. Usually, I'm over 100%, because I'm killing the losers fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's slow days like Mondays are like notoriously bad. So a lot of people scale back their ads on Mondays or just they won't be increasing their ad spend. I usually just let mine run. But I'm not going to be bumping my ad spend up on Mondays typically.
Okay.
Uh, so sometimes like my ROI may drop to 50%, but I'm like, well, is it really terrible if made 50% return that day? It's still Still good money, you know? Like most people would be happy with that.
Yeah, what's 50%,
Right,
actual?
like so I spent 500 bucks on ads and I just netted $250. Like am I really gonna be upset about that? Like I'm not losing money. I'm just it took me more money to make that money, but um so that's the point that we want to get to is have enough campaigns running and then continually the problem with the one starting out is that momentum you need to be able to get a consistent ad spend going.
Yeah,
Because when you're testing one, two shirts, they may not work. You kill it, then it may go a couple days where you have to launch some more. So it's very erratic. When
yeah,
you have
yeah.
multiple shirts going, it's easy. Like even now, I only have like three or four going because I was away last week and I have to get back into launch mode. But I was still spending, $100, $200 a day in ads just between like maybe three or four shirts.
Right.
I have like a whole bunch of shirts waiting for me to set up ads, so I'll be able to scale up really quickly again.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
then when you're at that point, like you can really push when you know your ROIs, you can really push your ad spend up to um, whatever you're comfortable with. My friends spend 2,000 a day, 3,000 a day on ads or more. Um, when I
I
was, I've gotten to the
I'm
point where I was
comfortable
doing
spending.
about 2 grand. What's that?
I'm comfortable with spending the money. As a matter of fact, I got I got that Amex card that gives me a 3% cash back on Facebook advertising. That's what I
Yeah,
was trying
that's
to tell you
crazy.
about.
Yeah, if you send me, I
Dude,
gotta look at that again.
dude, that's it's an increase of what I would have gotten on any other card by at least 1.5% or two. So
Yeah, I mean, you think about all that too. You're making money back on, especially if you start spending $1,000 a day on ads or whatever. I mean, you could get a lot of cash back and rewards that way.
exactly. I have a hack for you that I accidentally figured out. I applied for the platinum card, which costs
Okay,
$450 a year. The first year fee is not waived.
$450 for the credit
Yeah,
card. Holy
for a
crap!
year. Yeah, so it's good for travel. Like they give you $200 back for baggage fees. They give you 100,000 miles.
Uh huh.
If you spend like 10 grand on it, and you get access to certain clubs, and you have a TSA pre-check credit. I mean, it gives you a lot of good stuff if you travel a lot.
Right.
Well, for some reason I misread, and I thought the fee was $200. I get it, it's 450, and I'm like, it's just not really, it's not like gonna fit for now.
Yeah.
And so I called them to cancel it, and they said, well, how about the Amex Gold? Based on what you're doing with your business, you could get 3% cash back on Facebook, no fee for the first year, $175 after that. And I was thinking I was only going to get 50,000 reward points. So yesterday morning, I open up the computer and I find that they're giving away 75,000 for the same card. So I called them to see if they'll give me that reward instead of the 50,000. And the chick goes, "No, you're gonna get the 100,000 because that's what we originally offered you."
Oh wow.
So basically, you can get either 25 to 50,000 more miles just by applying for
The platinum one.
the platinum first, yeah, and then calling retention department and saying, "Nah, I think the gold's gonna fit me better."
Nice. I'm gonna have to try that. I need to do something. I'm afraid to open up any more credit stuff since I'm gonna have to be. I'm looking to
Oh,
qualify for a mortgage soon, so I'm like, I was thinking about getting a car, and I'm like, I can't do anything right now.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much opening credit cards would hurt you, but I wouldn't take my advice.
Yeah, I have to get in touch with the mortgage guy this week. It's 3 degrees here. I'm so done with this crazy.
Dude, it seems like ever since you started complaining about the weather, it's just gotten worse.
Yeah, I think that's God telling me I need to move.
Yeah. God, dude, I can't believe it's that cold.
You're in where? What part? You're in California?
Yeah, I'm in San Diego, bro.
Yeah, I have a few friends out there. Nate's from San Diego.
Yeah, yeah, he lives
Um,
in
t-
El Cajon. It's like
I
20
have
miles.
a friend, Pete Delmonico. This another guy named Hani, who's he might start working, helping with some Facebook ad stuff. He's from San Diego, so I mean, there's like three or four people I know out there.
Nice.
I'm
Yeah,
just my wife won't move to the West Coast. It's too far.
for family, right?
Yeah, her whole family's here.
Yeah,
At
I
least
know it.
like South Carolina, it's like a 10, 11 hour drive. Her family can drive down and visit.
Right.
Most of them up to California.
Well, dude, I mean, here's the beautiful thing is when you're making money, you could have two houses and you
Yeah,
could go up there in the summer, you know.
yep,
So money can solve these things, for
it
sure.
definitely can. So,
Yeah.
all right, well, let's
But no, I'm comfortable spending the money. I'm comfortable launching the campaigns. I've already had enough success where I could probably launch 100 unsuccessful campaigns. I just don't see that happening. Um, and my eBay business is cracking, so I've got income flowing in from
good.
another source. So like I've got a lot of good things going on currently. Just need to get the momentum back, like you were saying.
Yeah, so I would make it a goal. Pick something, whatever you think it's reasonable for you, whether it's 10 campaigns a week, 15, 20.
I'll probably
Just
start
make
with
sure,
10.
yeah, do
Yeah,
5 one day, 5 another, and just know that, you know, keep having those designs. Like, you're gonna have to have designs ready to go each week. So you
yeah.
want to always be looking out for, and that's why I always look at my newsfeed. If there's a popular design that I keep seeing, I send it to my designer and say, "Can you make this for X, 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 and X?" But obviously change it, and he'll have it ready for me. And then whether or not I can run ads for that right away, they're usually I have my VA queue it up in my Teespring campaign, and when I'm ready to get to it, um, like I can end the campaign and relaunch it so it's fresh. But that's why I do longer campaigns, like 14 days.
And your
Um,
VA does
so
the
my
VA.
my designer will design it, and we put it up on a Google Drive. She'll take it. We have like a launch folder. Once it's ready, she'll take the PNG file. She'll log into my Teespring account, get the campaign set up. My designer gives her a Facebook ad image to put on the fan page. Um, that way, because I just don't really trust her. She does okay with like the Jing, with the share with friends type picture and stuff, but I just rather her not have to think as much, so she'll just take the picture. There's a picture that's for the page post, and then she'll just copy my ad text and post on the page, and then I know I could just go start running ads for them.
Gotcha, gotcha. No,
So,
I'm with you. You don't want them trying to think too much.
right, and it's simple, designer designs now. She launches campaigns and replies to comments, and I mean our goal was 10 a day. I haven't been um, doing that many, but I need to get back into a more.
Is that what kind of the minimum to be a boss? Is that kind of the number seems to be?
Not really. I think I don't know where I came up with that number. I just thought it was reasonable for my VA to do it. I know for like my friends, like I usually have 10 to 20 campaigns running at a time, so that's probably like a goal to get to. That like if you're looking, your first goal would be like 10 to 20 campaigns running at any time. Um, my friends who do probably 2, 3 times what I do are doing 40 campaigns running at a time. So that's kind of I'm trying to get up to there. Um, it's
Well,
just
how do
it's
you?
a lot to manage. It really, I mean, to look at that many ads every day and try to figure out, um, you know, digging into the reports and seeing who's engaging, who's not. Like it's very time consuming. So I've been comfortable with what I've been doing. It's more or less, do I want to take on all that added work without having the people in place to do
No, absolutely not. I'm surprised.
it?
I mean, I don't know. I'm always looking at scalability for
Right.
especially now because I got unlimited morning hours. So I have to immediately think about like, okay, profit, and then figure out what is not really that hard and not really actually profitable. Tell me this: how do you set up 10 ad campaigns in a day when you have to? I guess you've gotten better at it, but you have to do like firefighter A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, and then you have to go on Google and look up the different groups, and you have to go on
Yeah.
audience insights. I mean, I guess that's
It
part of it,
takes
right?
time. Like when I was doing 10, it would take me almost all day.
To do
That's
10.
why, Yeah, to do 10, because I would actually, I'd have to set up the Teespring campaign. I'd have to set up the page post. I'd have to set up the ads, the custom audience. Like, it does take time. That's why I'm trying to figure out. Um, it's a lot easier and a lot. You're gonna get a lot less burned out if you have like a VA that can help with some of the work. Um,
Yeah, I got a taste of that because I was launching five of the high school shirts a day.
yeah, and that's it's still it's takes time. I'm not gonna lie. The thing that and that's I kind of fall into that trap where I go and I launch a bunch of campaigns, and then I have some really good ones, and I kind of just coast, and I'm watching those, and I'm not launching continuously. And
Yeah,
then
and
what
all the
happen?
got
Then what
going.
happens is you gotta, they end, and then you gotta go back through that launch phase. So I'm trying to avoid that, but I've noticed a lot of people have like the ups and downs. So you have really, good highs, and then it drops down a little bit, and you start launching again, and I think that's just part of it. I don't know if it's really possible to just maintain constant, like, super high productivity. Uh, the idea is more just to minimize that downtime, or
According to the slight edge, you got to do something every day.
oh yeah,
And
definitely. Like I was saying, the momentum is the hardest part in the beginning for most people. It's like a rocket taking off. It uses so much energy and fuel
yeah,
just getting off the ground, but when it's in the air, it's kind of cruising. Not like, I mean, it makes adjustments and things like that, but most of the work's just getting off the ground and getting
how
moving.
do you replace you as far as like
What's the
launching
end
that?
goal?
Like, how do you like who do you? Because I've looked at programs that talk about like that they show you their structure. Like
Hmm.
Social Sleuth, their upsell has a lot to do with scaling.
Outsourcing.
Yeah, outsourcing, right? And of course, I was intrigued by that. But I guess like the final step might be a local employee.
Yeah, so I mean, the idea would be I have an outsourcing course I'm going through, but I have it mapped out where I have 1 to 2 designers. All they do is design. I have a full-time shirt launcher. Right now, she's doing shirts and uh, engagement on the pages. Um, I don't know if that will be. I don't know if I'll keep it that way. So you might have 1 to 2 full-time shirt launchers. All they do
Mhm.
is launch Teespring campaigns. You may have a full-time social media, like a fan page person, who all she does is post content and reply to comments on your page.
Right,
Then you'll have an ads manager, somebody who's going to take over the responsibility of setting up and managing all the ads.
right,
And then at that point, like at my role at that point, I would still be managing, overseeing everything, like the ads manager, the designer, the launchers. The last piece for me would be to hire somebody like a business manager, project manager to replace myself.
right.
And then that person would oversee everybody. So that's kind of like the end goal is to have somebody step in, and that would have to be definitely a higher paid person, most likely somebody based in the U.S.
Yeah, but I mean,
To manage her.
if you got to that point where you had its subcategory that hardcore, then you'd be crushing it.
Yeah, I mean, like my friend's goal is $1 million this year, so and he's close. Like he's on pace. I think he did almost 100,000 this month, and I think close to that last month. So I mean, his
How many is
goal
he
is
launching today?
I don't know. He has like 40 campaigns running right now, so he's always got that many running, and it's a mixture of new designs, relaunches, and
Right.
so like new niches, relaunches from past winners, and then like he'll launch shirts into niches he's already sold to before. So it's kind of
Okay.
a mixture of 3 different ones.
Okay. Okay.
But his goal for his ad spend is $3,000 a day. That's like he knows that's the number he needs to spend, assuming 100% ROI to hit that $1 million mark. Now, some days are going to be better, or some days are going to be less as far as ROI goes, but if he can figure out and spend $3,000 a day on ads, then he should be close to hitting that mark at the end of the year.
Yeah, yeah. I think $2,700 a day is $1 million a year.
Yeah, so if he, you could afford, you could afford a full-time person $50,000 a year to
Yeah.
manage that. I mean, think of that's a really good salary for somebody.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know, maybe not in California, but
You'd be surprised. It's like down here. It seems to be more of a place you would go to once you're rich, as
okay,
opposed to like to get rich.
right.
Um, or or for school, or to bum to bum it and have tons of roommates, and
Yeah, lots of
there's ways to get
beautiful
around
weather.
it. What was that?
Yeah, the beautiful weather.
Yeah, I mean, the cost of living is higher because the quality of life is amazing.
Yep.
So that's why a lot of people want to be here. Um, no, man, I can see that vision as far as everyone wants to do six figures. I definitely would like to do 1 million a year, and I think that is not unreasonable based on what other people are doing. And the only thing they're doing that maybe like we aren't doing yet is, like you said, just launching more shirts and figuring out how to have other people help and manage that appropriately.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, like six figures is pretty easy. I mean, that's $333 a day, I think, if you got to that ad spend. Um, on slow days, I'm doing half that, but like usually, I'm doing 500 to 1,000, $1,500 a day. So, that's where you gotta get up to that point where you can get your ad spend up.
hmm Or and afford that help. But the first help that's necessary, what are you paying your VA, like $15 a day or something? Yeah.
It's $100 a week. She's full time, so it's like I think it's like 250 an hour, something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I gave her a little increase. Actually, I think it's $110 now.
Where does she
Uh,
live?
she's in the Philippines, so I
Oh,
mean
dude,
that's.
I promise you, she's like the richest one of her friends.
It's funny because she's always like she seems poor. She's always like as soon as like it's payday, she's like, "Is my funds up? I really need it, sir." And I'm like,
Well, they probably trying to keep up with the Philippine version of the Johnsons.
"Yeah, probably."
Because like the chick that I hired, her rent was 90 a month, and she was getting paid like 190 at her job.
Wow.
I was like, oh my god,
Half
dude.
her money was going to rent.
What was that?
So half of her money was just going to rent.
Yeah. And now I'm paying her 300 or so, I
Now
guess.
she bought herself a Benz.
But anyway, it makes me feel good in a way because like they really are appreciative of it, and they
Oh
work
yeah.
hard and they're consistent. Um, they don't complain. I mean, as far as I've seen, anyway.
No, my designer's good. Um, I don't want to. I hate to cut you off. I actually have to. My wife has to. We have to go to that
Oh yeah, yeah.
kindergarten orientation. But
Got
let
it.
me send this recording to you, if that way you have it. And I would come up. Yeah, let's come up with an idea for trying to scale your high school shirt some more, and
Well, I
try to.
mean, you already got me thinking. I'm probably gonna. I'll probably make like five other ones. I'm just gonna find a design, but five other ones for
For the job titles.
yeah, different colors, and then um, go ahead and launch the shirts. I don't know why I just didn't even think of that.
No, that's good. All right, yeah. Make sure you just keep in touch with me throughout the week. Obviously message me anytime, and then we'll schedule something towards the end of the week. We'll pick another day next week and just see where you're at,
Okay,
if that works.
sounds great, man.
All right, cool. I'll send this to you as soon as it once it's done uploading.
Okay,
All right.
all right, thanks, man.
Yeah,
Bye.
thanks.